Welcome to another great episode of The Ambassadors on Dove Television, where we bring you all and what you need to know as concerning politics and governance in Nigeria, most especially. And of course, you know that the stage is set in Nigeria in a way for the citizen to elect another president, another governor, another senator, another House of Representative member, another member of House of Assembly to represent them at the National Assembly or at the State House of Assembly. Everybody is set. The stage is heated up right now. A whole lot of campaigns and rallies are going on, and lots of announcements and awareness from the side of the umpire, the INEC, to making sure that people are abreast of the information and the guidelines they need to follow as all they need to do concerning the general election. And that is why here at Dove Television, we deem it fit to ensure that we give you every information you will need to participate in this general election as performing your civic right. My name is Mike Adekunle. On the program today, we have with us a member of the INEC who is a very senior official, and of course the Director of Admin and Secretary under the INEC Independent National Electoral Commission in Ogun State. I have here with me Venerable Stephen Akinropo Ojewande. Good to have you with us here, sir.
Thank you, Pastor Mike.
Thank you. We appreciate your presence. And well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just have to say well done. Now, I was in your office a couple of days ago, yes, and I saw for myself, what is going on there. And all I can say is well done.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. We appreciate you, sir.
Thank you.
And next to him is a pastor who is a member of the Directorate of Politics and Governance in RCCG, the pro tem chairman, precisely the pro tem chairman, Directorate of Politics and Governance under the Redeemed Christian Church of God in Redemption City. I have Pastor Yinka Akonde. Good to have you with us here, sir.
All right, thank you, Pastor. Nice to be here as well.
Thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. All right, to all of you, our viewers, we know that many of you will have questions and gray areas you will need clarity. If you need to ask questions or you need to get clarification on any area as regarding your preparation towards the election, the phone lines to call is on your TV screen. Call or send SMS to those numbers on your TV screen right now. We will pick it up and address you appropriately. Even as we receive information from INEC, we will rightly disseminate those informations to you. That is why we are here. Okay, let me start from Pastor Akonde. How ready are the people that you have been speaking to as regarding this election? How ready are people for the election?
Thank you very much. I must say, for the first time in my experience in politics, okay, people are more ready for this election. They are fully prepared, unlike other elections. The challenges we are having now is those who are yet to collect their PVC. More or less, well, when the times come, that's what I'll ask the director here. Peradventure, few who miss the PVC. Okay. What will happen?
All right, thank you. Yeah, just like you said, just to corroborate what you have said, it appears as if this general election is a make or mar. People are ready. In fact, before, the readiness of people that I have seen on my own part, I don't know, in the part of INEC, because when you look at the number of the PVC, the permanent voters card that has not been collected, you may perhaps think, are these people ready for this election? Maybe they are going to be thinking is business as usual. This 2023 election, sir, is it going to be the business as usual?
No, it won't be, because there are a lot of innovations in the electoral process now. Unlike the previous 2019 general election, okay, one of it is in the last election, 2019, we use smart car readers. Okay. This time around, we have jettisoned smart car readers because of the challenges that that great innovation faced. So we are now using what we call BVAS, Biomedia Voter Verification Device. That one has a multitasking device that can capture both the facial and biometrics of the voter. And so if one doesn't work, the other one will do. And there's no way one can bypass it. Once the BVAS is bypassed, there's no incident fund this time around. So it's the BVAS that will accredit as well as transmit the result on the spot timeously. So aside from that, we have a lot of electronic devices that we have introduced, or let me say, an interaction medium. Voters can now monitor the votes as they go on, because you can just click onto our own website, and you'll be viewing the votes as you go on. Even before the election itself, the commission will be able to roll out what are the contributions of the political parties. For instance, we have online registration of party agents. That one closed on the 28th of January. So it will not be delayed, and they cannot change it. Unlike before, they will now introduce other faces that we are not familiar with. And then the architecture of the polling center is also different. You can't just come in, snatch a ballot, and go away with it. Even when you do that, that election in that station will be cancelled immediately.
I want you to repeat that. You mean there's not going to be ballot stuffing or ballot snatching this time around?
Well, you see, politicians in Nigeria are a rare breed. They want to go unnecessary miles to undermine the process. But what we have as a checkmate to that is that even when they go ahead to come and snatch, it will be useless to them. Because the voter, when they bring it back, it will not count. Immediately, that ballot or whatever is snatched, the election in that area will be cancelled. And it's a detriment to them, as well as the populace will watch at it, will not allow them to come around to their station to come and snatch ballots or stuff it. You can't come around to stuff ballots, because the BVAS during accreditation would have taken the note about those that were accredited, and the number accredited by the BVAS must be equal to the number of ballots issued, as well as the number of registered, those that were accredited on the register. There will be manual accreditation also by the register. The voter register will be ticked to indicate those that have been confirmed by the BVAS, verified and accredited, and they go to the the presiding officer, who also check their register, and tick, indicating that they were there, and issue the ballot paper to them. So if the box is, or during the process, and they came back to return the snatch box, it will not count. It will not count.
Okay. Now, speaking to all these guidelines, or let me say an introduction you just made right now, let us look at your readiness. How ready is the umpire as concerning this election? Are you fully ready?
Thank you very much. We are ready. I can say our readiness is, if you look at the percentage, I would say for now we are 87% ready.
87% ready.
Because we've received our non-sensitive materials, and we are deploying them to the local government offices. Okay. Aside from that, we have been engaging our stakeholders, those that will contribute, the NURTW. We have an MOU with them. We have meetings with CSOs, civil society organizations, the media. The accreditation of media is also going on. Training. We've not stopped training. Our core ad hoc staff are the NYC core members, and we have route training for them, both in the camp and at their primary assignment. Then, the BVAS, all that we need for the election, the most sensitive part of it, when you talk about the BVAS, the ballot paper, I believe those ones are already taken care of. What remains is just to deploy them back to the state and then get them issued down to the primary users. So I would say we are ready. We've have coordinate of our polling units. We've decentralized some of our distribution centers. Our rack centers we've checked the status of rack centers. Very soon we'll start setting up our rack centers. The rack centers is where our adult staff will stay a day to the election. In the evening, within 6 hours, they'll be there, prepared to go. The rack center is always very close to polling unit. The radius is within 30 to 1 hour to the center. And it will make it very easy for
there won't be issue of
movement of
coming late to the polling
because
unit.
they must stay in idea. It's like a camp. It's not a 5-star hotel. A camp for them to wait, get prepared, and move to their center. By 7 o'clock, they'll be there to arrange their polling unit. And by 8, they open the station for people to come and vote. So, so far so good. We've done at least the most important critical aspect of it. The security agents are also being trained. We are engaging them at the local, state, and at the national level. So we are ready.
Just as Pastor Adekunle said earlier, how critical this year's election is. Now we need to speak to the issue of security. How secure? Because in Ogun State we heard of the attack on the INEC office at Adekunle South. So how secured are these sensitive materials? How secured are the personnel? Now that you mentioned that the personnel that will operate at a polling unit will have to come a little closer to the polling unit to stay overnight. How secure would it be? Where they are going to be staying, will it be announced to people? Will people still be aware that some INEC officials will be sleeping over here tonight in a way of them having a proximity to their polling unit the following day? How secure would they be?
Well, security, I would say Nigeria is a challenge. But when it comes to elections, we have interactions and strategies. The security architecture have also been beefed up. For instance, last week we had our OSS meeting in Ogun State, and all service heads were there. And we have been assured not only about the people being there, they are also gathering intel, and they are using their own strategy to pick up those that may cause mayhem or disrupt the process earlier before the day of the election. We are a month close to the election. Today is 30 days to the election. And last week they were telling us about the exercise they've gone through. Those they know that there are key malefactors in communities. They're picking them up to keep them till after the election. And they are monitoring the movement of all those other agitators who may want to move and destroy the process itself or hinder the process. But then, it's a collaborative effort between the community, the security agencies, and the commission. It's an ongoing process. So I would say the security agencies, with the report they gave us last week, are on their beat. They're on top of all issues. And the isolated case of Ogun State, the Adekunle South, I would say caught everybody pants down, because nobody expected that in Ogun State. Ogun State is relatively peaceful when it comes to security in Nigeria. But after that period, the security in Ogun State, especially when it comes to the commission, the EMB, has been beefed up. The state office, electoral officers, the local government offices, and the rack center where we are going to keep our staff before the election day will be manned by security personnel, fully armed. Then they also have what we call quick response team who will be patrolling, who will stay with them. And every DPO, every security chief at the local government level are also involved at the planning stage, monitoring stage, and the execution stage. So we are carrying everybody along to ensure that the security of our personnel is maintained substantially. Because God is the only one that can give us absolute security. Substantially, I would say we are on top of the issue, and we have been informed by the security agencies that we should be rest assured that the election will hold in Ogun State peacefully, and anyone that wants to move against such will be taken care of. I will not want to disclose other issues that were discussed at that meeting in preparation towards securing the election.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, sir. All right. I'm sure that your responsibility is not limited to the election proper. You are also saddled with the responsibility of monitoring campaigns.
Yes.
Okay. So let me ask Pastor Adekunle, following the campaigns and the unraveled events here and there, what can you say? Are these our candidates from whatever level? Are they speaking to issues, or they are being so frivolous with words of accusations and counter accusations and all that? Are we hearing from them what we should be hearing?
Yeah, thank you very much. Before I go straight to that question, I would like to take the INEC official back a bit about box snatching.
Okay.
Now, he said even peradventure, in any polling booth, the box is being snatched.
Yes.
The votes will not be counted. When the politicians see that as an opportunity where they are weak, to send people there and disrupt and snatch the box so that the election, that particular polling booth, will not be counted.
Okay.
No, sorry, let me clarify that area. Even the period, the timing for the snatching, the commission can still bring back.
Okay.
If the beavers is being snatched, we have a backup. If boxes are snatched, we still have a backup. But the votes, the ballot paper that will have been carted away.
In other words, the vote.
The vote, the ballot already.
Valid. Okay.
Well, that is the issue. And then if, there is this margin of lead issue, we also have a record of EC40, where we take cognizance of events at the polling unit. If at the end of the election, we discover that the aggregate of those areas that were cancelled for the election, if allowed to go on, will possibly affect the overall result. Definitely, election in those places will have to call for a kind of it's not a rerun now. We have to go back and conduct the election again.
Okay.
The margin of lead will now come into play. We are going to look at the issue, those areas, because we know it's a game plan by the political parties to go to the stronghold of the opponent and weaken their ballot. That's why that clause is there long ago. So when we discover that we have incidences of such, we'll now look at the incidences, the quantum of votes that were affected at those polling units.
Yeah.
And we'll not aggregate them. If added to the votes of the two leading contestants, will it affect them positively?
Okay.
And this time around, we are not going to look at the total voter register. We are going to look at the total number of PVC issued or accredited at that place.
Okay, thank you.
The total number of PVC collected for that polling unit will now determine the number, the aggregate of voters that will have conducted their civic responsibility at that station, but they were disallowed by politicians or their talk or violence or snatching of ballot, whatever. So, but when at the collation center, when they look at it and find that it's the result of that unit will not have any significant effect on the overall difference between the two leading contestants, then it will not be a burden on us again.
Thank you very much.
Not that we are not going to look at it holistically. That is why we are calling on the community also to defend their ballot.
We'll try our best.
So that you not allow miscreants, they are in the society and the community. So that you not allow them to come around and waste the efforts you have put in place. I need the quantum of fund being used to conduct election in Nigeria. We should address it from the community base. We should know the catchment area for the polling unit is community based.
Yes.
And we know ourselves. And we have information. We know most of our community members are in the political parties, A or B or C, or in the leading political parties. They should be able to relate to the community what are the informations they have. And when they have such information, they should cascade it to security agencies or share it with the commission. Once we have, like now, we have mapped out flashpoints from our previous elections, those areas where we know that they have tendency for violence, tendency for snatching of ballots, tendency for intercommunal crisis, we've mapped them down. And we are going to police them effectively to ensure that they will not come again to have that game plan. The security agencies are on top of it. The commission also is on top of it. But then there are issues within the community that we can have which will be beneficial to the security agencies to man our ballot properly. Because the commission cannot be everywhere. We don't have the facilities of providing. Let me even tell you that the international best practices does not allow a security man to go armed to the polling unit.
To the polling unit.
He only go, even the baton is a weapon. He can't go there with it.
That is where the problem lies.
That is, no, the problem lies with us.
Has that changed? Has that changed? Because I know in 2019, there wasn't anything like that. Where I voted 2019, you know, police officers stayed away. In fact, you don't see them with guns.
Yes, it.
But this time around, looking at the security challenge we have in the nation, has anything changed? Are they still going to appear unharmed?
The international best practices that the commission, that is INEC, Independent National Electoral Commission Nigeria, is into, will not allow any security man to go to the station armed. It's an electoral offense. It's an electoral offense. But the security agencies have assured us that they have a patrol team. They will have response team.
Okay.
That will be, 200 meters radius to the polling unit.
Okay.
They will be off. I think it's 200 meters radius. Okay. They will not be there. Okay. They will not be carrying arms, but they will be very close by, so that any information within that radius, they will be able to arrest and interrogate such occurrences.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying security of a ballot is community-based. In other climes, you can't even see policemen going around to monitor or to secure the elections. You will not even know that election is going on.
I'm sure we'll get there because
let's speak to ourselves. Let's watch our people. Let the politicians stop this inducement. The NDLA, let them monitor and police the use of drugs. Let them, confiscate as many.
EFCC also monitor vote buying and all that.
And the rest.
We'll come back
so
there.
if we look at that, we'll be able to have a relative peace and conduct election without spending too much. The quantum of fund for election, when you look at it, are not even the incidental expenses. Wow. Taking care of things ordinarily should have been left without.
Okay, sir. We'll come back. We'll come back there. We need to observe a short break right now to allow in viewers on Zoom. So please, we shall go on a short break. We shall be back to continue. Thank you. Watch The Ambassadors on Dove Television as we take you through the rudiments and fundamentals of politics and good governance and how you can be involved. The Ambassadors is showing every Tuesday at 1 p.m. Nigerian time. Welcome back. It is still The Ambassadors on Dove Television, and we'll be looking at the built-up exercises and procedures into the 2023 general election. I have Venerable Stephen Akinropo Ojewande, who is a director, admin and secretary of Independent Electoral Commission, National Electoral Commission in Ogun State, here with us. And next to him is Pastor Akonde, the pro-tem chairman of Directorate of Politics and Governance in Redemption City here. So we've been looking at the process and the build-up to the general election. I asked earlier, before we went on a break, your assessment of the rally and campaigns. These candidates across board, have they been able to sell themselves reasonably to the voters who will be voting them, in the election?
Thank you very much. To be sincere with you, my answer to that question is no. We have not really seen the issue-based campaign. Rather, what you are hearing is candidate A, the wife in his house, they've not paid the dowry. What has that got to do with governance, to the issues? Now, go to the community. Go and see the young children from age of 12 into drug. I'm expecting a campaign whereby the candidate will come. And now I'm not talking about the grassroots.
Yes.
Now the candidate will come. Look, I will try my best. This is how I want to do that to eradicate all these drug addicts, all this. We are sitting on, time bomb. If you go to the community, you see the young taking drug, violence, and nobody talking about that. Rather, they abuse candidate A, candidate B, abuse candidate C. Is that what we call campaign? And not even from graduate, where you now come to the national, that one is more or less the father of it all. So what do you do to eradicate electricity, the poverty? We've not really heard anything about that. But the people are determined to vote. That is what I want you to know.
I want to believe the exercise is not cumbersome on you as an umpire. Monitoring the campaign schedules, rallies here and there, and making sure their finance, even the preparation for the election, the collection of PVC, the registration, and all that. I hope it's not being cumbersome, and how be able to overcome these challenges.
Thank you very much. The commission has a department that is shadowed with such. That is election and party monitoring. They monitor the finances. We are doing what we call campaign finance tracking. Because there is a provision in the Constitution that earmark the limit, the ceiling for finances that can be engaged in campaigns. So we are monitoring that. We are also monitoring the content of their campaigns to know whether they are issue-based or they are what to call, they should not use abusive words. Yes. They should not descend to overbeat the polity. So we are monitoring that. Okay. The voter education department are also monitoring the adverts to know whether it's issue-based or they are, the words that they are using are civil words. So at the end of the exercise, we always engage the political parties, in fact, during the period itself, to call them to caution, to call them to order. And then at the end of the
we
day, don't
know whether you are calling them to order or not, but we are expecting that by now, head should have rolled.
No, you see,
because we have seen a lot.
The provision in the Electoral Act does not give the commission that ombudsman task of hacking or nullifying the nomination or the candidacy of no. Okay. We can't do that on that ground.
All right, thank you.
Except the courts decides.
Okay. Now, we've got a question here for you, and this is coming from Mr. Chris Nwachuku, and it's a whole lot. The coming in of the beavers has brought in a whole lot of relief to so many. But then, this question you need to hear. This is Chris Nwachuku saying, please, I want to know how prepared is INEC on the confidence building of public reception about their fairness to all parties. This is because, as we speak, there are allegations by IPAC that some of the beavers have found their ways to government houses. How true is this, and how can the people really be assured of an unbiased umpire as INEC? Now, in addition to that, the arrival of the beavers, like I said, happened to be like a cushion to so many agitations that, election is going to count this time around. But we also heard over the social media that some people are being trained right now in some countries to compromise the beavers. And now this is what we heard, that a government house is housing this beaver to making sure that the whole exercise is compromised. So what can you say about this?
Well, it's a fake news. If you watch the Twitter handle of INEC, the special advisor to the chairman on media and publicity spoke, on that is a fake news. Okay. I don't know how people will sit down and give such false allegations. Beavers, do you know the way they were packaged? You cannot move one without everybody knowing. You move them in trailers for a whole state. When we received ours, four trailers, truckload came with the beavers. We are talking of a large number. We have 5,042 polling units in Ogun State. That means the state has 5,042 beavers. It's unfathomable.
Well, this is just to speak to the smartness of young minds and how technologically inclined some of us can be in Nigeria. You know, it's a peculiar state.
No. You see, I don't see how they would imagine moving a quantum of electoral materials to do what? For what purpose? When we have our own state commission there, you have the National Commissioner monitoring states. The Resident Electoral Commissioner is there, people of integrity. They have, it's not possible. It's kind of, but then again, training people to compromise the beaver is a waste of time. Because what the beaver does is, we are not using it as as a voting device now. We are not using it as a voting device.
Okay.
All it does is to accredit, to ensure that impersonation is reduced or is not even curtailed totally. Then when we transmit our result, you can't hack into it. You cannot. Because we have our men on spot. They are trying to, but we have professionals also on the spot to ensure that the system is not hacked into. That is one. The beavers is not, the transmission of that result itself is not the only medium. We have the hard copy. The hard copy will move from the polling unit to the collation center. Aside from that, every polling unit, they are going to paste the result also on the wall. So right from the primary source of collation of results, collection of voting itself, the result will have been announced. Security agents will have their results. The candidate himself or his agent will have the result. So I don't see any way somebody will come and hack the beavers. Well, technology, before you can compromise it, you take a lot of time. And we're also working on how to build up our defenses.
Oh, good. That's what I want to hear.
We are building up our defenses.
Because nothing is impossible.
I know, but it's a waste of time.
Okay.
It's a waste of time.
All right.
And resources to be training people to come and hack into it. These are the things we should get issued.
All right. We have a caller on Zoom right now. So please go on and speak to us. Please unmute your mic and on your video, please. We need you to on your video. Go ahead, please.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for that wonderful talk. Now, I have a question.
Okay.
My question is this to the INEC official. What are the measures put in place in other states that will come with weapons, that is at gunshot to steal ballot boxes? Because the INEC official made a statement. He said they cannot steal the ballot box. Now, there are some states whereby some persons will come with their weapons at gunshots to steal ballot boxes or to kill people that want to vote or to destroy the whole process. What will be done to such people, or what are the measures that will be put in place to guide against such incidents? Second question, please. During the collection of PVCs, there are some persons that collected about 3 PVCs just for an individual. Now, if this individual goes to different states to vote with the same PVC, how do you correct that act? Because why should an individual have 3 PVCs just for this process? It's uncalled for, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, I have seen that. An individual having 3 PVCs.
And he collected the 3.
Yes. What happened? I think I interrogated one that I saw. How come? The person said it passively. I said, forget it. That cannot happen. He said, sir, come and see. 1, 2. He brought out 2 that I saw.
The same PVC.
The same, yeah, PVC.
No. You know what I'm asking of? Perchance, double printing was done for one person.
Possibly.
Perchance he went about registering all over the places, and the machine was unable to, we've not gotten to that stage where when you register now, it will prompt up all other registration. Okay. The WAN or the OneNet, the network of registration. We've not gotten to that level where, because of our network in the country, we don't want to deprive our registered electorate in the remote villages from registering because there's no network. That doesn't mean we can't go there to register them with our beavers. Perchance, the procedure of eliminating double registration, he jumped it. Okay. Perchance. Okay. And you had that laxity of collecting more than one. If we have such information, it's an electoral offense that we must cascade to the commission, and such people will have the procedure of arresting and deny them the use of such cards. But that aside, because of the time frame, it's not possible for somebody to traverse polling unit to vote on election day. Remember, there's restriction of movement.
Okay. So it's not possible that I vote here
and
still
then
leave
start
here,
going
go to another place
to vote. It will take terrestrial mobility to go from, for instance now, our police unit in Mowe, as a case in point, you can't stand to vote here and from there go to the other end. You know what I'm saying? They are not very close. Okay. And those that are very close, it will have been discovered. Okay. But perchance he missed that procedure of eliminating double registration. That's why they had numbers of cards. Okay. But then the procedure does not allow for free movement. So it may be very difficult for such. If you have escaped the technology that was put in place to reduce double registration. Okay. And that means he escaped it. Okay. Because the procedure was there, the business rule was there. Because to eliminate double registration.
What he said was that he went to collected one for himself, and later a friend called him. I'm here to collect my PVC, and I saw your face. I saw your card.
In another polling unit.
No, same collection, same local government.
The same local government, the same polling unit.
Yes.
If it happened like that, like I said, perchance the machine printed twice.
What I didn't check on the card was the polling unit. Probably for different polling units or same polling unit.
It's possible.
If it is for same polling unit, I think it might not be.
You can't use it more than once.
More than once.
Once you come to vote, the beavers will record that you have been accredited and you have already voted. The register will indicate that. Okay. The ballot paper will also show. The ballot paper was issued to you. But there are 2 boxes that they will tick, one for accreditation, one that you have voted. Okay. For each of the elections. So if it's for the same polling unit, that means that the machine printed that PVC twice. Okay. And that's why we come into Nigeria. A citizen ought to have that integrity of bringing back. I'm sorry, you printed 2 for me. I think I need 1. This is the other one. Okay. But now that it has been said, we will also inform our local government offices again that they should check their materials all over again and readdress it. Maybe some have double printing for their ballot voters card, permanent voters card. Maybe the machine printed twice for them. Oh. Now, on the other question, what are we doing about mitigating insecurity in the electoral process? Like I said, I'm not saying that they cannot come to snatch our boxes. Okay. I'm not saying so. But I say it's a waste of time because the commission will ensure that the ballots, the ballot, even if it's being returned, will not be counted. Because if it is stuffed, the beavers will tell us total number accredited for that unit. And once it exceeds, that's overvoting. The election there will be cancelled. Okay. But the police and other security agencies, they have their strategy. Okay. I said the other time that the security architecture for polling units are in 3 dimensions. A security officer will be at the polling unit. There will be a radius patrol by a team of security agents. Okay. Then there's rapid response team. Okay. Ready at very close radius reach to ensure that they mitigate or curb or put an end to any issue that want to disrupt the electoral process. So that is what we have in place. And we're in a country that we've not gotten it right about our own conduct as citizens of a nation. if you are men of integrity and uprightness, why would I want to disrupt a process of electing somebody who I want to saddle with the responsibility of governing me, who will be midwifing bringing out policies that may affect my personality? Why will I come around? Well, we'll get there one day, like you said.
Yeah, we'll get there.
I believe God will take us there.
Amen. Amen. All right. Please, viewers, kindly on your video. Put on your video. We need to see your video if you need to ask questions. It's important. Okay, Pastor Adekunle, you have a question or two?
Yes, I know we shall be there. He made mention something earlier, which is Nigerians' factor. Like now, when they now say, okay, go and start collecting your PVC, people will not go until.
It's diming it.
And now, I have some slip in my phone here, which sent to me, and they have been trying since 2018. The person said that it has been there several times, it could not collect or it's not available. What would she do?
Wow. And we had a window that if 2018 and the material was not printed, the window was there for the person to report on the spot, or the officer in charge will report on the spot that this person's PVC has not been printed. Then the ICT department will now, at the national headquarters, will now ensure that that PVC is printed.
How can she do that? I have the slip here.
You can send to me, we'll send it to the local government and find out why, as that person, because if the officer in charge discovered that electorate PVC was not printed, he have to escalate it. There's a portal where they will put that information. Okay. And they will print. I mean, by now, all such issues have been addressed and the materials have been sent to us at the state level. They've already been printing those that they said, we can't find their PVC, we can't find their PVC, because we want them to collect before the due date.
Okay,
So
let me...
by today, when you send down, but it may be too late.
Too late. That
It may be
is
too late because of the time factor.
Yeah, time
But
factor.
that was done
That
last
is the
week.
issue.
Yeah.
And we'll be receiving new PVC that were printed this week for distribution to owners.
Okay.
So, but next time, you can reach us in our offices.
Okay.
You can, any other time you have such issues, you can escalate it to the state office. We'll call our local government staff and ensure the needful is being done.
I must tell you, it is quite unfortunate. We still have about 30% which are yet to collect the PVC.
Are they at our local government offices? They will be attended to.
They have been there. Last week, I went with them to when they were at the ward. Okay. I went there, they could not. Now from ward, moved to local governments. I went with them. They could not.
Is it because of the crowd?
The crowd, number one. Number two, they will search and they say it's not available.
Well,
the crowd is there.
Well, in that regard, voting on the election day, what are the necessary guidelines to voting, and what are the things needed? Is it only the PVC? We've seen news on social media that if you don't have your PVC, just like his case, put in your name on a certain portal, you will get your details, the VIN, you get your information out. I tried one, I saw it. Now, can we present that one? They said that you can present that one. Can we present such an information to vote without the card?
No. No PVC, no voting.
No, that card.
You must have your
You
PVC.
must have the card.
Because it's an electoral act, it's a provision of the electoral act. One, you can't vote by proxy. Now, you must be there in person with your permanent voter's card.
Okay.
So without the PVC, because the PVC must first of all be presented. It's like you going to your ATM and you don't bring your ATM card. Though there is another option they are using now. You can bank with that. But the country, the electoral body, does not have that provision yet. We will soon get there. We'll be having electronic voting. Electronic voting, you don't need to even move out of your house. You just vote electronically and the thing will be collated and recorded. You've not gotten there yet. But the rule says you must come to the polling unit with your PVC. And when you get to the polling unit, You meet our staff there. One will be in charge of will be in charge to verify your PVC, whether you are in that polling unit. It will direct you to the board. You know, they are going to paste a copy of the register. So you go there first and check whether you are on the register. And it's the same polling unit you have to vote. Then you are online until you get to the beavers. Another of our officials will be there with the beavers. The beavers will scan and verify the PVC. You know, we are in Nigeria. Some people will go ahead and clone, but the PVC, the beavers will detect whether this PVC belongs to the commission, because there is a chip embedded inside the beavers. The car itself. So it will prompt that yes, the beaver belongs to the commission, is the original, and is the voter. Now to identify whether it is the voter himself or herself that brought the PVC, then the beavers will scan the face of the electorate. And once it's confirmed, be directed to the presiding officer, assistant presiding officer, who also check the register again to confirm that the name. You may have your PVC, if your name is not in the register, you may not be able to vote. Your name may be on the register and you don't have a PVC, you can't vote. Okay. So you must go to the station with your PVC. Okay. Once checked and your name is on the register, they will do the manual accreditation to indicate that you are here. Then the presiding officer will issue you with the ballot paper. One thing is very important about the ballot paper. Ensure that the presiding officer stamped and signed at the back of the ballot paper to indicate the kind of election. Because at the stage of counting, if such ballot is not stamped, it will not be counted.
It will not be counted.
Then when you now go to the booth to vote, ensure that you thumbprint in the box provided. You know, there is a box in front of the logo of the party. Ensure that your thumb is inside that box. And don't use that finger again to pick the ballot. To be double thumb printing. Use the other hand to pick it. You can use your hand to clean the ink, or use the handkerchief we provide, or the foam provided at the booth to clean your hands before you start folding. On that day, the presiding officer will do a little voter education to give them the procedure for voting and how to fold your ballot. So that when you fold your ballot paper, even if the ink will smear, it will be in the logo, on the logo of the party of your choice, not in another place. Then once you fold, come out in the open and drop your ballot. That's that. Then don't use your handset. In fact, you will not be allowed to take your handset to the booth. Don't use your handset to scan or take a photo shoot to show somebody else where you are voting. It's an electoral offense. 500,000 naira or a year imprisonment or both. Wow. So it's an electoral offense which you must not commit on that election day. Vote and go, or you may stay to watch the end of the ballot.
Now, all that will be in the space of how many hours?
8 and 2. And whosoever is online, at the end of 2 o'clock that is here to vote, it is normal procedure for the presiding officer to allow such people on queue to vote before you can close the voting for that day. And after voting, they have to sort and count. They bring the ballot box out, they pour it on the table, sort and count by our officials, not by the agents, not by the security agents, by our officers, ad hoc staff that have been appointed, trained for that exercise. They are to look and watch. They will sort in party, they later count either alphabetically or whichever is suitable for them. And after that, they will record the ballots in the ECAT series and then announce the figures. They are not going to declare winners at that stage. Okay. They will just announce the figures for each of the candidates or each of the parties. Then they will fill in the poster. I think it's 68 or thereabout, where they will enter the figures and paste on the wall. Then scan the results after being signed, duly signed by party agents. Signing or not signing does not invalidate the result. But it's the procedure that they must come and indicate that they were there.
Meanwhile, the part of the result has been captured
immediately
as well.
Immediately.
Which will be transmitted
immediately.
Okay. So as we round off, probably in 30 seconds, can you speak to vote buying?
Well, it's an electoral offense which we are working against. We are mitigating against it. We have EFCC and the ICPC also watching. In fact, the commission is out to ensure that we prosecute whoever is caught doing that. So we should not be engaged in buying or selling our votes. If votes are not counted, they will not want to sell. That means that you don't trade your tomorrow. Don't trade your tomorrow now.
Don't trade your tomorrow. Thank you so much, Venerable Stephen Akinropo Jewande, the Director, Admin and Secretary for INEC Ogun State. We really appreciate your time and your wonderful educative illustrations on the program. Thank you so much. We are so grateful. And the chairman, the pro tem chairman, DPG Redemption City, we appreciate you, Pastor Adekunle.
Thank
you for your time.
Thank
God
you
bless
very
you,
much.
sir. We appreciate you.
God
And to
bless
you, all of our viewers and those on Zoom, we say thank you to you for being part of the production this time. We appreciate you. Please do well to join us again next time. The entire crew, we appreciate you. My name is Mike Adekunle. Bye-bye. And please, make sure you go out and vote. It's very, very important. Go out, don't sit at home and don't sit on the fence. Please go out and cast your vote. The voting is coming up for the national elections on the 25th of February. 25th of February and on the 11th of March, respectively, for national and state elections. So please go out and vote. Thank you and God bless you. Bye-bye.